waiting for that change. Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Waiting for That Change. And pretty much, as we get into this lesson, Lord's will, it'll be edifying. And you will find comfort, you brothers out there and a few sisters find comfort in the lesson, because these bodies are terrible and subjected to all type of madness, sickness, just evil thoughts and all kind of madness that happens. And this is why we cannot keep the laws perfect in these imperfect bodies. And we need to be changed, and we will. Lord's will, we endure to the end. And if we do endure to the end, the change is there, because Yahweh said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. All right, now this lesson is based around this next Netflix series called Supercell, which I had seen. I never watched it. I started watching it, but I had seen, the avatar for it, but I never watched it. I wasn't really sure, but then I heard brothers speaking about it, so started watching it, and it's, it's a good, it's good so far. I think I watched like 2 episodes, and pretty much the first season is about 6 episodes, and pretty much, some of these individuals, which are all Jake's, only Jake has, powers in this movie or this series, and some of them using it for wickedness, and some of them, more so for righteousness. And pretty much what I got from that is, walking in this world, when we were blinded, we didn't know what was going on, and pretty much, we had different walks, in this life. Some brothers were drug dealers, some brothers were drug addicts, some sisters, was probably selling their cooch, and, just all different, adultery and all kind of, madness going on, but when the Lord woke us up, then the Lord, removed us from that, from that energy. And, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, by his words, through the Holy Spirit, we have been changed and have put on a new man. All right. So this series pretty much shows you how Jake is in this low state, but they got powers. All right. So when the kingdom of heaven is established, these bodies that we have are going to be changed, because at the end of the day, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for hope. All right? That's the only, we're prisoners of hope. As it says in Zechariah 9 and 11, I start here. As for thee also, by the blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth thy prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. The blood of the covenant is Yahushai. All right? So when he shed his blood to deliver us and to bring us back to the Father, to set us free, set the prisoners free from the pit wherein is no water, because we that are here that do not love this world at all, that hate this fucking world with a passion and wish that the Lord would destroy this place and deliver us, we are hastening that day. It can't come fast enough. Isaiah 51:14, the captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. So what is a captive exile? It's a slave that's been exiled or removed from his land. So we are captives or slaves that have been removed out of our land. So we're royalty that have been taken from our land. Right? Hasteneth, meaning wanted to hurry up and come, that he may be loosed. And how can we be loosed? How can we be delivered from this captivity? Well, by Yahweh Shai coming back and taking these nations down and setting himself back up on the throne and having us to rule with him. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that he should not die in the pit, because this society is set up to destroy you. And it's like the longer we're here, the more diligent search that these devils bring, the worse it gets. Because they're manipulating everything. The water, the air, the food, the toxic relationship between men and women, and just in general. You got women now, black so-called black women, saying that they would not work for a black woman. I read some posts that said that if you're a black woman that's hiring and you come across, this is a so-called black woman, writing this. If you're a black woman that's hiring, if you run across my application, please throw it in the garbage. And this is the toxicity that has been pushed by Esau. This all goes back to what? To that Willie Lynch letter, and just Esau being a demon just in general. Studying the effects of different, chemicals, in the body and what they do and how they could destroy you. I mean, it's just demonic. So we need to get out of here. It can't happen fast enough. Yahweh Shai said, if those days be not shortened, there shall no flesh be left to be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, back in Zechariah 9:11, as for thee also, by thy blood of thy covenant, I have sent forth the prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water, right? Because at one time, there was no knowledge here, and it was slowly growing. We were out there, the dead bones in the valley that represents the whole nation of Israel. We was just dead, had no clue or idea who we were. All right. Now it says here, turn you to the stronghold. What is the stronghold? This truth, beginning with the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. This is that stronghold. This is that tower that's going to sustain us in these times. All right. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You prisoners of hope. So we are prisoners of hope. We live by hope. And that's the only thing that we have to keep us going. Outside of that, we have nothing else that that can deliver us. So we are prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. So the Lord is going to allow us to get payback on our enemies, and he's also going to pay our enemies back also, because he's going to give Esau double. All right. So let's leave from there. Let's go to the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity. So we were, the Lord, when the Lord created everything, he allowed Eve and Adam to go off because he had a greater purpose, which we don't understand, which we starting to understand a little more now. Why? Because we had to learn both sides of the tree of knowledge, because that's how you come to perfection. That's why Yahweh Shai and the angels, once Adam went off, they said, what are we going to do with the man? Seeing that he's like one of us now, knowing good and evil. If he put forth his hand unto the tree of life and eat, then he'll live forever. So now we are getting back to the tree of life. But these bodies are not able to sustain, everlasting life. So we have to be changed. And that's why the name of the lesson is waiting for that change. All right. So for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. See? So this is what we're waiting for. This is hope. So hope that we have is we don't have anything tangible. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's there, in the spirit. It's an energy that keeps us going, because we know that the Lord said that he would do it, and he would. And the confirmation to it is all of the, prophecies that we see playing out on the world scene right now. And that's part of the comfort, to keep us pushing along. So now, not willingly, but by reason of him who have subjected the same in hope. So we go to verse 24. For we are saved by hope. See, that's how we saved. So these Christians that are saying, that they're saved, they're full of shit. They don't know what that means. The scriptures say, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul. So the salvation comes at the end, and that comes through hope, comes through faith. It says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. See? So if you see something, you want something, you're hoping for it, and you have it tangible in your face, then why hope for it? You already got it. So this is how we feel about salvation, because the Apostle Paul mentioned this in the book of Philippians, chapter 3. Philippians 3:12. Not as though I had already attained, meaning what? Received salvation, received deliverance. Either we're already perfect. See, so we're not perfect. The only thing that we're perfect in is understanding. That's it. As far as the body and all that, we are not perfect in that category. But I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahushua HaMashiach. Right. And this is why we are prisoners of hope, prisoners of Yahushua, because we have that hope, and that hope keeps us locked in. That is the anchor to our soul, pushing us forward, to the end. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, because we didn't get it yet. We didn't achieve salvation yet. But this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Right. Because it's beautiful. We did a lot of great works through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But guess what? That's back there in the past. Even the lesson that you just did yesterday, that's in the past. What are you doing now? What are we doing now? You see, that's what counts. All of that all them past works only count if we make it to the end and are delivered. You see, this is why the scriptures speak about a righteous man that turns back, from his righteousness. All of that righteousness that he did is going to be forgotten. So that only counts if we make it to the finish line. It says, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High in Yahushua. So this is a high calling. All right. And that's why we press towards the mark. What is the mark? Salvation. Salvation is the mark. So going back to Romans 8:24, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? Right? Because if we were already saved, if we were already perfected, if we were already in the second covenant, why are we still hoping for it? Why are we still destitute? Like, as far as falling apart, these bodies falling apart, still in this cesspool of a world. The scriptures say that once the Lord comes back to deliver us, there's going to be no more tears. No more crying, no more mourning, none of that. It's going to be nothing but a never-ending weekend, as the elder Pastor put it one time, a long time ago. But it says, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience, which is suffering, wait for it. So we have to wait. There's no other way. Nothing else we could do. So let's go to the book of Jude real quick. I didn't get the actual verse, but I just want to go straight to the point. Okay, I'll start at 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. Right, and that's what's happening. We're being put back into remembrance. How that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. Okay, and this is the point right here. and the angels which kept not their first estate, because we're all angels. See, people look at the word angel as, you do have angels in the spirit, the Most High, Yahushua, the Holy Spirit, the angels. Those are angelic beings, but we are also angels, because the word angel also means messenger. All right, it's not always, the spiritual world angels. We are angels also. A message is an angel, because the word angel, mala'ak, means messenger. Okay, but left their own habitation, right? Because they left what? Their first estate. And what was their first estate? Perfectness. All right. He hath reserved an everlasting chains. Now, what are the everlasting chains? These bodies that we live in. All right. Under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. Right. So we're in these, these everlasting chains, because all they do is hold you down. They not hold you down in a good way either. Hold you down in a bad way. It's limits that we can't do. There's feats that we can't reach. Mentally, physically. You see the tribe of Judah, how great they are. And this is in the chains of darkness. So how much more when the Lord unleashes all the 12 tribes from these chains of darkness, these bodies. All right, so let's go from there. Let's go to the book of Romans. Let me move that over. Romans chapter 7. I didn't get the verse in here real quick, but it should be down towards the end. Right. I'll start at 23. Romans 7:23. I'll start at 22. For I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. Yeah, so in the spirit we delight to do the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But this flesh is constantly fighting against it. And this is one thing that the Apostle Paul was trying to explain to those Israelite foreigners. The spirit lusts against the flesh, and the flesh against the spirit. It says, but I see another law in my members, meaning in the flesh, warring against the law of my mind. See? So you have the spirit battling against the faith, or you have the flesh battling against the spirit, and bringing me into captivity. See, so we're in captivity under what? Under these bodies, these chains of darkness, to the law of sin which is in my members. So it's impossible for these bodies that we're in to become perfected. All right, so if these bodies that we have are not perfected, how can we keep the law perfect? It is impossible. All right, it says, O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Because this body brings death. Why? Because it is sin. It is subjected to sin. And this is what the Apostle Paul was trying to explain to the Romans, these Israelites in Rome, that look, you're not going to be able to keep things perfect, but you do the best that you can. And he explained to them that he tries to keep the law, but he goes off because of the flesh. I thank the Most High through Yahushua our Lord. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of the Most High, but with the flesh, the law of sin. And that's why we'll go back to Romans 8:21 now, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption. What is the bondage of corruption? That's this flesh, this corruptible flesh. This is the body of corruption, or the bondage of corruption, because the bondage is what? These are chains, as it said in Jude, chains of darkness. The bondage is what? This is captivity. Corruption is what? This flesh, because this flesh is corrupt. Why? Because it's mortal. It dies. It smells. If you don't take a shower in a few days, it stink. It falls apart. Bottom line. It says, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High. What is that glorious liberty? That glorious body that Yahushua attained after he committed that great sacrifice of himself. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Right, so we're all groaning. So for somebody to be saying they're living it up, having a good time, then they have nothing to do with Yahushai, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the actual body and the church of Yahushai would be suffering. They would be catching hell. They would be wanting to be delivered. These guys that's doing good, that's getting paid out there, they're not suffering. That's why they're not looking for the kingdom. They'll say, that's going down the road when my grandchildren and their grandchildren come. They're not looking for this. They're kicking the can down the road. Meanwhile, we're in a different mindset. It can't come fast enough. We wish it would have came years ago. But the Lord, has his purpose and his plans. And he said, wake not my love till he please. So we have to wait until the Lord is pleased to bring forth the end. It says, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, so even the elect, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, or to know, the redemption of our body. See? Because these bodies fade, they fall apart. Here it is, you got young men, that in their 20s and 30s that are tired, they run down, their bodies are breaking down. That's unheard of back in the days. Back in the days, man, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s was vibrant, even into their 60s. But nowadays, man, it's like even the young men is jacked up, as the scriptures say. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let's go from there to 2 Corinthians 3:17. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. This is one of my favorite chapters. It says, now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. See? And that's why it says, use not your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, because whatever we can't accomplish in these bodies, Yahushua makes up for it for us. It says, but we all with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord. What is the glory of the Lord? The kingdom and the glorious body that he received for getting through that gruesome time. It says, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. So as each day goes by, as the Apostle Paul said, let's go to 2 Corinthians 4 and 16, for which cause we faint not. But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. See? So the outward man is perishing, but the inner man is renewed day by day. So we're hastening the day so that, we can be perfected, changed, and be able to enjoy the kingdom, enjoy everything without having to be bogged down by these bodies. So now we're going to go from there to the book of 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. And, I'm going to start at 39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. And this kills that evolution theory. There are also celestial bodies. Now, celestial bodies are heavenly bodies. Like you have the angels, and then you also have like sun, moon, star, but the celestial bodies are heavenly bodies, which the angels have, the Most High, Yahushua, the angels. And bodies terrestrial. The word terrestrial comes from the earth, tierra, or terra, and then in Spanish, tierra, which is terrestrial, the earth. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So we are in terrestrial bodies, and we are looking to become celestial, or extraterrestrial, because we're still going to live on the earth, because celestial bodies live in the heavens. Terrestrial bodies live on the earth. All right, so we're going to be extraterrestrial. There is one glory of the sun and another glory of the moon, right? And they differ. They're both beautiful, but they both differ. And they both have different functions. And another glory of the stars, for one star differeth from another in star in glory. Another star, for one star differeth from another star in glory. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. See, so when the dead died, they died what? In a corruptible flesh. But then when Yahushua comes back and brings that body back out of the grave, then that body is going to become what? Immortal, incorrupt. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, which is these bodies. It is raised in incorruption. And this is what we're waiting for. This is why we have to wait for that change. You know, because our minds have to be changed. Our bodies have to be changed. The laws have to be inserted into us. And we will be upgraded, you know, the right way. Spiritually. Not with physical shit inside of us to give us, you know, these extra human powers. Well, far greater than X-Men, bro. But I hear you. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. See? And this is what we're waiting for. The glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. See? So we're waiting for that glory and for that power. You know, because right now, you know, we're in these dishonorable vessels and they're weak. It says it is sown a natural body, which is a physical body. It is raised a spiritual body. So we're waiting for these spiritual bodies. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And we're waiting for the spiritual body. That's why we speak about something called spiritual power. Like this movie here, Supercell. But the thing is that they had superpowers, but they were also human. You know? But in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to get hurt. Like they would get hurt, you know, even die and then come back to life. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, that's not going to happen. You know? Fucking guy, man. You know? That's not going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. So, moving on. What's the next precept? Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5. Because we read there that it is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. So you have bodies on the earth, terrestrial bodies, and you have celestial bodies. The bodies on the earth are terrestrial, the bodies in the heaven are celestial. 2 Corinthians 5:1, because we are spirits. All right? And the bodies that we have is nothing more than a suit of clothing. You know? The bodies, we have bodies in the heavens, we have bodies on the earth. Pretty much. And the spirit has to have a body around it, the shell. You know, and that's what the transition is. When you leave the earth, the spirit leaves that body in the earth and it goes to the body in the heavens. 2 Corinthians 5:1, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, right, meaning this flesh, we have a building of the Most High, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. So every time we come down on the earth, our bodies are up there. It's a suit. And this is where Esau gets these ideas to make these exoskeleton suits and, you know, these other things that they're using. There's a term that they were using for it. I don't think it was suit. You know, I forgot what they called it. And they show you that they can put people's consciousness into that body or whatever the case may be. But this is where these devils get these ideas, because they read the scriptures. So there's a suit of clothing up there, a body for us. So if we were to go today, Lord forbid, we'll go right into that body that's in the heavens. You know? For in this we groan. Why are we groaning? Because the body breaks down, you know, vexation, vanity, you know, you get hungry, You smell. If you don't take a shower in a couple of days, you start to stink. You work out. By the end of the workout, you're probably funky as hell. And I never understood how, just people in general, they go to work out, and they'll take a shower, and they'll put all kind of cologne and deodorant, all kind of they'll put up I understand deodorant, but they put on all kind of you'll see they'll walk past you or ride past you or run past you, and all you smell is fragrances. Why are you getting all fragranced up, and you're just gonna be sweaty at the end of the run? It shit don't make no sense to me. But I guess everybody is do what they do. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. See, we desire to be clothed with the house which is from heaven. In altered carbon, people had bodies called sleeves. Yeah, that's it. The water, brother. The water elder. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. That's what they call it. Altered carbon, and they also had. That's what they called it. Sleeves. That's what the word was. The water. It says, if so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked. Yeah, because in these bodies, we're subjected to go off. And what is nakedness? Sin. That's why, in Revelation 16, it said, to keep your garment, lest you be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, and we are groaning, constantly sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, and just groaning because of these wicked bodies, man. Being burdened. Yeah, this is a fucking burden. From the moment that we're born, we begin to die. It's just that when you're younger, you don't feel it as much till you get older. It says, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. See, because the word mortal means to die. The word immortal means not die. So we want these bodies to be, we want to be unclothed from these bodies to be clothed with the bodies that come from the Lord. And that's going to come at the very end. It says, now he that hath wrought us for the selfsame thing is the Most High, who also hath given unto us the earnest of the Spirit. And that's why we're able to move forward. Because if the Lord strips you of this, you're not going to be able to move forward. It doesn't matter how much you will it or whatever. Because it's an energy. It's a constant feeding. It's a constant inspiration, a constant breathing in. You see? It says, therefore we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, meaning in this flesh, we are absent from the Lord, right? In the presence of the Lord, which are those bodies that are up in the heavens. For we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Right. So we would rather be there because that's a lot better. You don't have to worry about going off. You don't have to worry about people scheming on you. You don't have to worry about your body breaking down or getting sick. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about paying bills and none of that. It says, wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. Right. That's why we give diligence to make our calling and election sure. So whatever we do will be accepted in him or to him. So now let's go from there. Let's go to the book of Philippians. Philippians chapter 1. These are like precepts that were coming to mind. I was writing down. Philippians chapter 1 and verse 19. For I know that this shall turn to my salvation through your prayer and the supply of the Spirit of Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is what individuals don't understand, that there's a supply of the Spirit of Yahushua that's constantly feeding us. That's why then he said that, if you do these things, and he will come and sup with us, according to my earnest expectation and my hope. See, because we are prisoners of hope, that in nothing I shall be ashamed, Why? Because the Lord is not unrighteous to forget our deeds in love. It says, but that with all boldness, as always, so now also Yahushua shall be magnified in my body, whether it be by life or by death. Yeah, because he dedicated his life, which the Lord put the Spirit on him to dedicate his life to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. For to me to live is Yahushai, and to die is gain. Why? Because if the Apostle Paul knew if he were to die, that he would be able to put off that corruptible flesh, that broken down vessel, and go into his new vessel, or his vessel in the heavens, and be in the presence of the Lord, which is far greater. Because you're not going to go off in the spirit world, you know. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. You know, what is the fruit of his labor? To teach. Yet what I shall choose, I wot not, right? Because he was in a state of, he wanted to go back to the spirit world because he actually was there. When you go back to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, you know, he explains, because when you go back to the book of Acts, he was actually stoned. And they actually, after they stoned him, they actually killed him. And they were dragging his body to throw it outside of the walls. And when, by the time they did that, his spirit came back into him. But before that, he had went up into the third heaven. You know, he saw many marvelous things. You know, he said the things that he saw wasn't lawful for him to speak, meaning that he could not put it into words. You know, it was just beyond words, you know, to actually explain the things that he saw. You know, there were no words that could come even close to even explaining what he saw in the spirit world. You know, but just before he got to the throne of the Father, the Lord sent him back down because he still had a lot of work to do. You know, when he got up, he had all kind of gashes on him, probably had lumps on his head from the stones that they were hurling at him. Probably was all sore, you know, from, you know, all the stones pelting on his body. Probably had a little limp. You know, they probably hit him in the leg or in the ankle, you know. So, I mean, we don't know exactly how, but we know that he got hit hard. And then he just went out and just kept teaching. It says, for I am in a strait betwixt two. So he's pretty much caught up between a rock and a hard place. Having a desire to depart, meaning go back into the spirit world, and to be with Yahushai, which is far better. Why? Because you're not in these funky ass bodies. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. Why? Because I have all this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. This is what the Apostle Paul pretty much is saying in a nutshell. And it's more beneficial for you that I be here, because through my experiences and the knowledge that I have, I can build you up so you could build up others also. You see? So he wanted to depart, but he said at the same time he didn't want to leave the brothers, you know, and sisters, you know, to, you know, in the condition that they were in. He wanted to build them up, you know. And having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and joy of faith, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Yahushua HaMashiach, for me by my coming to you again. All right, so now let's go from there. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 15:45. And so it is written, the first Adam was made of a living soul. Right, he was on the earth. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. The first Adam, which is Yahushua, no, not that Adam or the other Adam, but the third Adam and this Adam, inside joke. And so as it is written, the first Adam was made a living soul, which that was Adam in the flesh, which is the spirit that was in Adam back then, is Yahushua, or was Yahushua, is Yahushua. The last Adam, which is Yahushua, which came 2,000 years ago, was made a quickening spirit. See, quickening spirit. And that's why he was able to open up our understanding, because he was the only one that was able to unlock the seals, you know, of the mysteries of this book. Because prior to that, it was not possible. That's why the Apostle John cried when he said, you know, he wanted to know what was in this mysterious book. But he said that there was no man on earth or in heaven that could open those seals. So he began to weep. And the angel said, look, don't weep, because the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, he has prevailed to open the seals, because he, committed that great sacrifice. The reason why I laugh, the conquering lion of Judah, they try to say that's that demon, heathen, Elamite, Selassie. All right, it says, howbeit that was not first, which is spiritual. And that's the thing. See, we have to go through the negative. We have to go through the flesh part and fall and go through all these different things and experience all these different things. And now we can become better judges because we have the experience, of both, because we're getting the tree of life now. So when the kingdom of heaven is established and we make it out of here, Lord's will, we make it out of here, we be the elect, then we'll be perfected, and then we'll know both sides because we've experienced both sides. It says, but that which is natural. So the spiritual part wasn't first. It was a natural. It was a carnal man. All right. And afterward, that which is spiritual. So that's why we had to go through this great fall first. The Nephilim, the fallen ones. Now we're coming back. We're rising. We're striving forward to press to the mark, so that we can put off these chains of darkness, so we could put off this this corruptible flesh. The first man is of the earth, earthy. The second man is the Lord from heaven. So this is the transformation from the earthly to the heavenly. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. Yeah, that's why certain individuals that are carnal, they can't receive this message, as the Apostle Paul said earlier in the chapter. And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly, right? And the spiritual man is going to receive the things of the spirit because he is connected. And as we have borne the image of the earthy, right, this flesh, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. So we're going to also bear that. So we're experiencing this part of it. Then we're going to experience the next part of it, which is when Yahushua changes these bodies. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. See, so we can't inherit the kingdom of heaven this way. We're too unclean. This is why we can't go to the Father. That's why those guys said, the Most High showed me, and the Most High showed me, and the Most High. Them guys, we can't, we're not worthy or clean enough to come before the Heavenly Father himself, Yahweh. This is why we have to go through Yahushua. He is the pure mirror that the Most High Yahweh can look at us through. Remember, the Lord said that his eyes are, pure. They're so pure they can't behold iniquity. It says, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. So in these bodies we cannot inherit the kingdom. So it's fucking possible for us to be in the second covenant now. Here it is, these ninjas talking about we in the second covenant, and here it is, their bodies fall apart. They get old. You could get a disease, you could get hit by a truck or car or whatever, but they got the second covenant. Fuck out of here, man. Neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery, we shall not all sleep. So not everyone is going to die. Not all the elect are going to die. But we shall all be what? Changed. Transformed. Changing of forms. Going from the natural body to a superhuman body. As they show you somewhat in this series. So this is an idea. So I don't know who this individual is, Ratman. But I'm almost positive that this individual got this idea for this from watching the Israelites. I'm almost positive. I can't prove it, but I bet you that somewhere down the line he watched the Israelites and heard about the spiritual power, and I'm sure he went and researched the scriptures that brothers bring out, and that probably gave him inspiration to do this. So let's go back. 1 Corinthians 15:52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, because it's going to be that quick, at the last trump, and not Donald, inside joke. So the last trumpet, when the last trumpet blows, when the seventh trumpet blows, ooh, ooh, that's all I'm going to say. Inside joke. It says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Because the ones that are in the grave right now, those are going to be the first ones that go up into the chariots first. And we shall be changed. You know, that's going to be something, man. And it can't come fast enough, man. It says, Con Apostle Rapman was used to making music type short films before. Okay. I want to just show you this word change. Or changed. Alasso. To change, to exchange one thing for another. To what? Transform. What does the word transform mean? To change forms. Okay? To change form. That's what the word transform means. You know, and these devils, you know, they destroyed all these words. You can't even use certain words. You know, back in the days, you just say, like, your tranny, you know, for your transmission. You can't even say that no more. Because they done destroyed these words. Can't wear a picture of a rainbow, which is a beautiful symbol from the Lord, because these devils done fucking tainted it. If you wear that, somebody approach you, you know, thinking that you're a Mo. Fucking devils, boy. For this corruptible, he's the fucking plague of the earth. And these ninjas are a fucking plague of the earth too. For this corruptible must put on incorruption. See, so these bodies that we have to be changed to the incorruptible. And this mortal must put on immortality. Mortal is to die. Immortal is not to die. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, so when the change comes, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Right, so these individuals are saying that we're in the second covenant, they're still susceptible to die, so they're liars. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Right, you can't win anymore once we change. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. See, so when you commit iniquities and don't repent, that leads to death. And what strengthens it? The law. Because the law says this, the law says that. As the Apostle Paul said, I had not known sin except the law hath said. It said, but thanks be to the Most High, which gives us the victory through Yahushai. There's no other path. There's no other door. It's only through Yahushai. So these individuals that take the name of the Lord in vain, you know that they think they have the exclusive name, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai. You know, using the Lord's name in mockery. You watch what the Lord gonna do to them. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. See, it's a constant growing, you know, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. You know, these things, you know, even if anybody else don't see it, the Lord sees though. You know, you might, because I know you have brothers out there that do videos, I'm sure very good videos. They probably only get like 3 or 4 views, 10 views. If they get 10 views, they get happy. But don't worry, the Lord sees. The Lord knows your intentions and your heart. He knows that you're putting in work for Him. He got you. Don't worry about it. You know, everybody can't have 1,000 views, you know, or more. Remember, there's different parts of the body. So no worries. All right, so let's go from there to Philippians chapter 3. What's this here? What's this? Philippians chapter 3 and verse 3 and 21. It says, matter of fact, I started at 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushai. Right. That's why it says, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. Who shall change our what? Vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto His glorious body. You see, so He's in His glorious body up in the heavens, sitting on the right hand of the Lord. And we see what great reward He got for, you know, submitting Himself to the hand of the Most High Yahweh, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. So let's look up this word vile body. That word change should be also alasso. Nope, this is a different one. Okay, let me look up the word change in this one. Metaschematizo. That's a mouthful. You got the word meta. To change the figure of, right? To transform, right? And that goes hand in hand. Like when Yahushai, transfigured himself, he pretty much had he had two holograms coming out of him. It was Elijah and Moses and Elijah. So that's the change. He said change. Our vile, the word vile is tapinosis. Tapinosis, lowness, low estate. See, because remember the angels that left their first estate. The first estate was what? That archaic state. Because as a matter of fact, if we go back to that, back to Jude, it tells you that's that archaic state, that high state. First estate. First estate, see? Arche, which is beginning, origin. Right, the person or thing that commences, right? Those are that angelic, should I say, not angelic, but yeah, you could say that like that perfect state. The person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in a series, the leader. Right, the first place, principality, rule, magistracy. So that kingly state. So now we went to what? Lowness, low state, these vile bodies. Metaphorically, spiritual abasement, leading one to perceiving and lament his littleness and guilt. Yeah, shit. And how? Depression. So these vile bodies, they're so depressing. That's why, what do you think King Solomon, with all the riches that he had, the greatness that he had, he said, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. All right, and it's going to be fashioned like unto his. So let's read that one more time. Who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself, right? Because his great sacrifice made it possible for us to be partakers or heirs with him. All right, so let's go from there to the book of Psalms 17 and 15. It says, as for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. See, which is what? That glorious body. And that's what we're waiting for, that great change. The word likeness is thamawanah, which is form, image, likeness, representation, semblance. Like the scriptures say that Yahushua was the express image of the Most High. So we're waiting to become the express image of Yahushua. All right, now let's go from there to Isaiah chapter 40. This is like one of the main top scriptures when it comes to spiritual power. We'll start at verse 28. It says, hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not? Right, he don't faint. That's why he said, let me see, that he would not strive with us always. Because, we're just flesh. No, that's not it. Let me try 41. Let me just try this real quick. That the souls. Nope. All right. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me try Isaiah 57. Here we go. Isaiah 57:15. For thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, right? Because, man, we beat down. To revive the heart of the contrite ones. For I will not contend forever, neither will I always be wroth. For the spirit should fail before me, and the souls which I have made. See? So the Lord said he will not contend forever. He's not going to fight with us forever because we're flesh. We don't have the energy and the strength. That's why he says, your arms are too short to box. That's the term, your arms are too short to box with God. Scriptures say that, not in those words, but they do say that. The Most High is powerful, man. So back in Isaiah 40:28, hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power of the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. So for you to try to search out who the Most High is and what he's made of and how he's made and how he was created, that's all in vain. The secret things belong to the Father. The things that he revealed to us belong to us. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. See? So we're going to get that power eventually. Even the youths shall faint and be weary. And you see that today. And this is like even more impactful today. In 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Because you see Jake in a destitute state, man. Especially the youth. The youth are falling apart. I've heard stories of young men, in their late teens, early 20s, have to use, different things to get their joint up. Because of the food that is out here, the chemicals in the air, the water, the plastic. Everybody's drinking out of plastic. It's fucked up. It says, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, not no God and Jesus Christ, or Most High Christ bless, shall renew their strength. Let's look up this word renew. The word there for renew is chelap. To pass on or away, pass through, pass by, go through, grow up, change, to go on from, to pass on quickly, to pass away, vanish. So it could be two different things. To come on anew, sprout again of grass, to pass through. All right? So to be refreshed, renewed. So let's read that again. But they that wait upon Yahweh Bashem Yahushai shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. What does that mean? We'll be able to fly. See? And that's why you have this series here. And then you had years ago, I'm not sure what year that was, you had the movie Hancock with Will Smith, where he was able to fly. But they made him a drunk, like he was just a clumsy fuck up. Well, that's how we are in this society. That's why in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, it speaks about, fools that we are. I can't quote it, verbatim, but they're going to be kicking themselves in the ass because they did not expect us to be the sons and the daughters of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because look at how fucked up we are, and look at the fucked up state that we've come to, and look at now. I mean, Jake was being degenerates in the 80s and 90s, but nothing like this, man. This is the worst. And like Elder Apostle Rakau, he says, they cloned Tyrone is a documentary, and pretty much that is the essential script for the making of a ninja. And man, if that doesn't ring true, I mean, my goodness, I don't even know what to say, man. I got one more precept, actually two, so let's go from there to Zechariah chapter 12. I'm just gonna hit the main point. I was gonna go into a little deeper into that chapter, but maybe Lord's willing another lesson. Zechariah 12:8, and in that day the Lord shall defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, right, the Israelites, and he that is feeble among them, meaning weak, at that day shall be as David. And we know David was a mighty man, and his men were mighty men. And the house of David, meaning the tabernacles of David, shall be as the Most High. They shall be as the powers, as the angels of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, before them. So, man, this is just a small little example. See, they could, they had a hard, I haven't watched the whole series yet, but when they started learning how to use their powers, it's limited, but there's not going to be any limitations in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be straight up, and they show you where they had this one older Jake woman, and they had her, on a, if you haven't watched it, you might want to turn for a moment. I don't want to spoil it for you. They had her on a slab. I guess they had killed her somehow. They had her on a slab, and you know what they were doing? Analyzing her, taking her blood. See, because they want to they analyze everything. They want to see what makes this tick. Why do they have these powers? Where do those powers come from? These devils, they examine everything. I was at the park the other day, and I saw this bug, right, coming down, and I'm looking at it. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, this is where these devils got the idea for those drones, because it looked like it was a bug. It wasn't a drone. At least I thought it was a bug. It looked like a bug, and the way that the bug looked, it looked just like these drones. So these devils studied that and set that up. Yeah, so I already watched 2 parts on this. So they had her. They had killed her, and they were taking her blood and examining her, and trying to see what was going on. And all throughout the city, right, they have cameras that are catching these individuals doing these different stunts. So like I said, I haven't watched the whole thing, so I'm in the process of watching it. Verse 9. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all nations that come against Jerusalem. And oh boy, that's going to be a blast. And the last scripture I have for you is here in the book of Hebrews. I'm sorry, Hebrews. I got Hebrews on the brain. Isaiah 11. And when you read through here, this is speaking about Yahushai. And it's speaking about him coming back to destroy the wicked. Right? And then when the kingdom of heaven is established, here, verse 6, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid. This is in the kingdom of heaven. And the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. Oh, man. The golden pheasant and the lorikeet. Inside joke. And the little child shall lead them. Right? And who's that little child? There's ain't no goddamn Edomite. All right, and no Moabite, none of that. It's an Israelite, a little Israelite child, because they're not going to touch the Israelite children. Our children are going to be safe in the kingdom, even if they wander off. And the cow and the bear shall feed. Right, they're not going to eat each other. They're going to be herbivores again. They're not going to be eating flesh. They're not going to be carnivorous. The tigers and lions and all that. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. See? And the suckling child, which is a baby, shall play on the hole of the asp. So if there's a snake around, and the baby happens to be playing inside of the home, put their hand in the hole, the snake is not going to bite him. And the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy what? In all my mountain. Meaning the Israelites, not the other nations. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai as the waters cover the sea. That's right. And another one that goes with this is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 14. So the whole earth is going to be, the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to go everywhere, and everyone's going to bow down. Every knee shall bow to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that's the bottom line. So we're just waiting for that change, And it's going to be far greater than this. And Salaki, man, but by the way, this chick here is fine as hell. But so with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say Shalom.